Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's June 18th, 2023, and to those of you who are fathers out there and celebrate Father's Day, it's Father's Day here in Canada. I know in other places around the world they celebrate it in different months, but here it's Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to my dad and to any other fathers that are out there celebrating today. All right, today I have some post-crossing to do. I've got some cards to send out. I've got 6 officials that I can send out, so I'm going to show you the ones that I've selected for those. Also, I've got a bunch of direct swaps. I'm doing something a little different today with those. I hope you like it. Be something different. Anyways, and then the other thing I want to talk about that right now is that there is a meetup coming up in Fredericton, New Brunswick on July the 8th. Trying to promote it as much as I can. I've been sending out messages to post-crossers that are in New Brunswick. If you're not from New Brunswick but are from the Maritimes, you're still welcome to come, or from wherever. If you happen to be in Fredericton on July the 8th, we are meeting at, let me just quickly check real quick. It is at the Capital Winter Club, which is a curling club, and it's at 232 Rockwood Avenue in Fredericton. We're going to meet from 12 to 3, and what to expect? Expect to stamp or sign your name lots of times on all the postcards that people have there. You can buy, or you'll be able to buy the meetup postcards there. You can get last year's meetup postcards. They're going to be selling for 25 cents each, and you get buy one, get one free. So for 25 cents, you get 2 postcards. You're not going to find that deal anywhere else, I suspect anyway. So that's a good deal if you want to get some meetup cards from last year, or if you want this year's meetup cards, they're going to be 30 cents each. And that's Sophia's coming down from Montreal. She's organizing it again, and she's created the postcards. It's also going to be a big geocaching event there in Fredericton. So the post-crossing meetup cards are going to be kind of a slash geocaching card too. So if you happen to be a geocacher and are in the area, you might as well come on out and check out post-crossing. So once again, that's on July the 8th at the Capital Winter Club. So you can look that up and join us. I'm going to be there. I'm going to do another video. So if you can't make it, you'll get to see what's happening. But love to have you there and then maybe be in the video. Appreciate it. All right. What's the other thing going on today? Postcrossing. So let's get into it. The first one I have is going off to Switzerland. And it says, "Hello, dear postcrosser. My name is blah, blah. And I'm 49 years old, and I live in the village of Basel." I say blah, blah because I don't want to give out people's personal information as much as possible. She works as a homeopath. She loves nature, reading, writing, and cooking, and also loves to be home. But I like to hear from people all around the world. Cards that she likes are art. This is what I thought was really interesting. Is that all of her requests of what she likes are in alphabetical order. So art, anything about the year 1973, which is the year she's born. Beatrix Potter, Buddhism, bears, cats, children's cards, comics, Disney, Easter postcards, fairy cards, food, greetings from India, Mountain, nature, religious cards, roses, self-made cards, sweets, UNESCO heritage sites, vintage cards, and where you live. I love that it was all in alphabetical order. Now I went with cats. I got the cat and kittens. And this is from the Leitner Museum. This artwork by a French artist, Yvonne Marie Laure, from 1879 to 1943. And Cats with Kittens was done in 1900. So off to Switzerland you go. The next card goes to a woman in Germany, and she loves animals. She says peace on earth. She gives a couple sites that maybe you want to look at. And she says she lives with her family, her tomcat, Joshi, in a small village in Germany near Berlin. She loves to cook and bake all of our breads herself. She also likes to try new recipes. Most of her free time she does in her garden. She has many flowers that are in bloom. She's also a postcard collector, and she's been doing this hobby for many years. She started when she was a child. She collects postcards with views of towns and villages and countryside. So please, if you can, send me a postcard view of your hometown or where you live. So I'm going to send this one here. Experience Moncton. This is downtown Moncton at night, and there is the city skyline. So hopefully that fits into her collections of cities, towns, and villages. Maybe she doesn't have Moncton yet. The next card is going to North Carolina in the United States, and she works in youth services as a librarian. Her hobbies are crocheting, card making, snail mail, and reading. Her favorite books are Anne of Green Gables, Little Women, and she's a big fan of Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts. And purple is her favorite color. Well, and her animals she likes are giraffes, owls, donkeys, red pandas, and bears. She likes Anne of Green Gables. I can't but help send Green Gables postcard. It's the shaped postcard of Anne's house from the area, so you got to send it, right? If she appreciates PEI and the book by Lucy Maud Montgomery, then I'm going to send her a card. The next card is going off to Germany. She is a traveling person, either by postcards or in real life. She's interested in nature, biodiversity, especially bats. She likes being out a lot, hiking, camping, enjoying landscapes, also works in this field. She likes dogs, but doesn't have the time to have one at the moment. She also enjoys salsa dancing and Latin music. She's currently trying to learn Spanish. And when she has the time, she very much enjoys crafting of all kinds, mostly paint, fabric, wool, or paper. She's very interested in colorful art and good nature. Last things she'd be interested in are Peanuts cards. I assume the cartoon, not the food. Anyways, I am sending a nature card. We're getting a Canadian moose, and that is hopefully something she probably doesn't see very often when hiking in Germany. Especially a Canadian one. But I don't think there's any moose in Germany. All right. The next card is going off. Well, this one's very interesting. It's going off to Italy, but the address is the United States because I believe that they may be a service person or married to a service person. So they have an address where you can send, if you're in the US, you could send at local rate postage and it would get all the way over to Europe. She says she's been living in Italy for the last 2.5 years. She loves letter writing, pen paling, photography, scrapbooking, paper crafts, cross stitch, games, reading and baking. She's been married for 30 years and they have one son who's a professional audio engineer who lives in Nashville, Tennessee. That's cool. He's met a bunch of famous performers, but still hoping to meet Dolly Parton. That's the goal, I guess. She's also a huge Nationals baseball fan. Go Nats, go Yankees. And a big college basketball fan. Go Heels. I've worked in the paralegal, a high school band director, and a horseback riding instructor. She's lived in 7 different states and overseas in England and is now in Italy. So then all the postcards she said, the very first one was cathedrals and churches. She does have a whole list of things that she'd like to see. I stopped at that one because I had this card of the Basilica Notre Dame in Old Montreal. I think it's beautiful. I'm hoping she will as well. She likes cathedrals and churches. Italy's probably a nice place for her to be too. Lots of things to visit there. All right. The last official card that I have going out is going to Switzerland. So I've got 2 going to Switzerland this week. That's great. She says, looks like you can send me a card. So thanks for taking the time to do this. One more thing, please write legibly. All right. That is something that I struggle with because of my small writing or printing. Sometimes it's really hard to read what I'm writing, so I do apologize if you get a card from me and you have a hard time reading what I've written on the card. I will do my best with the small space that I have on the card to write as easily as I can. And one of the other things I'm going to talk about is a new writing thing I'm going to try. The last pen that I've been using, I've been hearing that there's been getting smear marks. Now, I don't know if it's just because of the dampness. We've been having rain here, so it's very possible that the water is reaching the cards when they're going to be mailed. So that sometimes has an effect on the ink. Sometimes the ink just doesn't dry properly. I've had good pens and I've had bad pens, and maybe I'm working with a bad pen, so I'm trying something different. Anyway, so let's get back to this one here. She says she's in her early 30s, works in an engineering office. She likes to be creative, like sewing and photography, baking, handcrafts. She does some sports, like Pilates and fitness. And she likes to meet with friends, read biography, watch old Disney movies, go on city trips. Favorite animals are penguins. Also likes Dalmatian, red pandas, flamingos, and rhinos, but doesn't have any pets. What she'd like to have is whatever you want to send, that's first of all. But if you have a choice and you can do it, photographs of architecture, graffiti, people, nature, animals, modern art, boats, also self-made photos of black and white, something from your hometown, region, or country, and something that thinks might fit your interests. And then she gives you a list of things you may want to write about. Well, she likes graffiti, modern art, and she wants things from my town. I've got this one here. It's an Experience Moncton. We have a festival every year where they come and they paint 5 or 6 buildings in the city, use big murals. Artists come from all around the world to do it. Looks fantastic. I'm probably going to do a video going through and showing where all the different ones are. So I thought this might be great. It talks about the city, shows some art, and it's a fantastic event. So that is my last official one to go out. I'll put those aside. I do have a list of cards here that I'm going to show you that are my direct swaps. Before I do, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share with others. If you enjoy it, maybe others will enjoy it too. This is what I was about to talk about. I bought these pens at Costco. I'm hoping they're going to do the trick. The zebra pens, they've got a couple different colors there, which I like, but mostly the blues and the blacks, which most people use. It says they're ultra smooth, low viscosity ballpoint ink, 1.2 millimeter bold point, requires minimal writing pressure, delivers a smooth, uninterrupted writing experience, solid metal accents for long-lasting durability, soft rubber grips for writing comfort, and non-refillable. It doesn't say much about smearability, so I'm hoping it works. But for $10, I got 30 pens, which I thought was a good deal at Costco. Normally, I've been using these ones here, these Sharpie S gels, and this particular pen was the one that I seem to be having the most problems with it smearing. So I'm going to try something new on these cards and see if it works better. Now, let's get into the cards that I'm just sending to my direct swaps. Normally, like the ones you just saw from my registered ones, I would go through and find the ones of interest and try to match them up. With my direct swaps, I've been sending some of these people for a couple of years now. I've sent a lot of different cards. I've got a list of all the cards that I sent, and I try to mix things up. But I always have, I've been very fortunate enough to have friends and family that go out to get me postcards, and so I've got a pretty good collection of postcards. But lately I seem to be using the same stack or the same area, the ones that are about my province, because that's what people are asking for. Or maybe those really long, cool ones that I got in Montreal. I've been sending some of those, or the 3D cards. Those are really nice to send too. So I have a stack of postcards that I have that rarely ever get touched because of that I'm sending these other ones, maybe the newest things that have come in, and some that I've had for a long time. So what I did was I said, for example, I'm going to send a card to this person, and I just closed my eyes. I pulled out the stack of postcards, and I shuffled through them, not knowing which ones I got to, and then wherever my hand landed, that was the postcard that I was going to send to that person. So it may not have anything to do with the person I'm sending it to. I'm hoping they're still going to like the card. I like them enough that they're in my collection and that they would get sent eventually, but they haven't been sent for a while. So that's what I've done. And what I'm going to do on the reverse side is I'm going to write one thing that I am grateful for, whether it's grateful for the person that I'm sending it to, or whether it's something I'm grateful for in my life. Today being Father's Day, I felt that it might be a good day to do that. Just send out some gratitudes. People can sometimes overlook some of the things that they do have in their life and the experiences they have. So I'm grateful for the people that have sent me these postcards and added them to my collection. I'm grateful to have friends that I can send these postcards off to and communicate with on a regular basis. I'm grateful for you guys who are subscribers and that tune in to watch all my foolishness, whether it's a festival, whether it's Postcrossing, whether it's stamps, Lego, whatever it happens to be. Thank you so much for doing that. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, now let's get into the random postcards that I picked for people. The first one is, good that was this one. You are amazing. Happy Pride. I think it fits well with the person. I'm not saying that the pride, but the you are amazing for sure fits with this person that's getting it. And so I'm going to write my gratitude on the back of what I'm thankful for and send that off. And because June is Pride Month, it was nice that was the very first card. All right, the next one is Puerto Rico. So I've not been to Puerto Rico. I do have someone that I've messaged before, pen palled with before there. I did have a friend who was in Puerto Rico, and while she was there, she picked up some postcards and gave them to me. So it's not very often that you can send a postcard to official people from someplace you're not. It's kind of strange that way to do that, unless they're like really into beaches or something, and that's why we're doing it. So this has been in my collection for a little bit now, so I'm glad to send it off. All right, this next one is an image of Stockholm, Sweden. I'm not from Stockholm. It is a city view, so someone may say that they're into city views, and that might be a good card for them. But if they're into city views, I tend to send my city if I'm going to do it, rather than Stockholm. So this would be a good place for the person I'm sending it to go visit one day. Unless they live in Sweden already, and then who knows. Like I said, completely random. All right, this one here is from an artist locally here, Melanie Kotef-Bachman. She's someone that my sister knows, so I got some postcards from my sister, and this was one of the ones that she gave me. So I'm thankful to Carolyn for delivering the postcards to me. Now someone's going to get to enjoy that artist. Speaking of artists, we have this one here, the Marc Chagall, the violinist. Another one of these ones. This is one that I believe Wendy got me at one point in time. She found a whole bunch of artist postcards, and I've been slowly going through them and sending them out. But this is one that never got sent out, and now it's going out. This one here, we have an animal postcard. This is an oil painting by Craig Bone. It's called Kudu. And this is actually more recent that I've received this one, that someone gave me some beautiful animal postcards. And now it's going out. But like I said, it was random. So I had a whole stack of postcards that were in the back of my lot, and I just randomly went through with my eyes closed and said, okay, this is going out to the next person I pick. We have another art postcards. There must have been a lot of art postcards in that stack. This one here by Jacopo Passano from 1510 to 1592. It's called the San Marino. This was an interesting one when I pulled it, how I was going to do. Jilly sent me these little tiny leaf postcards. They are very small, not much room to write on them. So I'm going to try to squeeze the person's address, the stamp, and a very small thankfulness thing on it, if I can. But it's going out. I picked it, so it's got to go. All right, this one here is going out as well. It's another Marc Chagall. It's called The Cock. But yeah, it's French, right? So it's not what you think it is. But yeah, we got an egg. All right, this not last one, but this next one. It's funny that this one's going out. It's been rainy here a lot lately, so it's good to be prepared when it rains. So this gentleman has gotten himself prepared for the rain. He's got an umbrella. He's made sure that if the rain gets past the umbrella, his clothes don't get wet. So good thinking by this guy to make sure that he is well prepared for that rainy weather. Yeah, it's no fun being in soggy clothes, is it? All right, the next card is this one here. This is a Claude Monet painting from 1866. And I found these postcards, a whole stack of them. I think there were two different ones at my parents' place when we were cleaning it up, when we were moving them into the nursing home where they are now. So that one's going out. My friend Scotty at work gave me some of these. These came from a role-playing game he had. He got a couple postcards that were in it, so he thought that I would enjoy the postcards. So I'm sending this one off. This one here, Pocahontas. You may know the story from the Disney version, or maybe you know the historically accurate version of Pocahontas. So it's a cute card of a woman of strength going out. And we have greetings from Ohio. So those of you who live in Ohio may appreciate this card. Those of you who collect state cards may appreciate this card. I'm just hoping the person that receives it will appreciate this card. The final postcard that I have going out is this one here of Cartwright Hall at the Bradford City Art Gallery Museum. That's where this card comes from originally. Has nothing to do with where I am. I've never been there. It's one of those things like Maybe someone says they like castles or architecture, and that might be a good card to send off. But also, it does feel weird when I send those sort of cards, and I live in Canada. It's a long way away. Not that I don't from time to time, but sometimes they're good to send to other Canadians. So it's like, oh, I got this card and it's from someplace else. So if I get Canadians that want those type of things, then I will do it. All right, those are all the cards. I have a lot of work to do getting all these cards sent out. So I'm going to spend a lot of time doing that. I'm going to enjoy it. It's always a nice, relaxing hobby. I put on some music. I get washi tape, stickers out, my pens, and just sit down and write what I can. I always start with the official ones to make sure that they go out in a prompt time to get out for tomorrow. If I can get the other ones out end of day tomorrow, then I'll do that too. But I am going to go over and visit my father today. I've got a card for him. So when we get cars back again, both my kids are working today. They've taken the cars. So when a car comes back, I'll go over and see him. That's the plan. All right, you guys have a magical week.
What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye.